9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. Liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Roger, Tower.
Welcome to the Alien Probe Podcast. It is Saturday, February 7th, 2026. I'm Doug. This is Matt. Joining me today is Nicholas Keating Casbarro, and his author of the book Vitalerium. And I got it. Okay.
Vitalerium. You're close.
And
you got that
science, sci-fi, kind of Dune, kind of space opera. Star Wars kind of thing. And, welcome, Nicholas. And thanks for coming in from Florida, sunny Florida. So I guess it's in the 70s there. Lucky.
It's 53 here. That's why it says that.
The iguanas aren't falling out of the trees or anything there this week.
They were earlier this week. You should see it. People were taking them and putting them on the like where the windshield wipers are in their car and driving around with them.
And so they, like a decoration.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would be that
funny.
person probably. So.
Well, do they thaw out then walk off? Or are they dead?
They're not dead. They it's like a hibernation that they go into.
That's insane.
Yeah, they're dinosaurs, man. They are strange looking creatures, and that's down here in Florida, I'm sure you've heard the stories. People like to do funny things.
Yeah. Florida man.
Florida man.
He's a Florida man. That's how everybody knows it.
Yeah,
you gotta get your hood ornament.
Yeah.
And by the way, my high school jazz band teacher used to call me Casbarro all the time.
Oh.
He would do it on purpose. I'm positive of it. So you're taking me back. You're giving me a little nostalgia.
That's how I roll. Probably as old as he was too, just without any musical skills. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Nick. How'd you get into writing?
Kind of a roundabout way. I'm originally from Rhode Island, so I'm not.
I heard an
from
accent
Florida.
there. I heard an accent.
Yeah, Rhode Island, we took the worst of Boston and the worst of New York, and we just mashed them together. It's rough, and it really starts coming out when I've had a few
Drinking?
drinks, few
Right.
libations.
I think everything comes out of everybody when they have a few drinks. So
Yeah, well, that's the
expected.
point, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's expected.
So I grew up there, and then I ended up going to Boston for college. I went to school to be a physical therapist, and that just didn't pan out. It wasn't what I wanted to do. The passion wasn't there. Funny enough, when you go back in kind of my history, my transcripts, I took a bunch of creative writing classes. It was the only class I took in high school that was a college level course, and I really did enjoy it back then, but for a while I kind of put all of my creative outlets on the back burner for athletics and academics. So I went to Northeastern to also pole vault. I was a Division I pole vaulter there.
That is scary. I got pole vaulted.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little crazy like that. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
I was in track in high school, and I saw a guy running up, sticking the pole in the thing, and he went to go over and it snapped, and he spun, and he landed on the pad though.
Hey, he nailed it. He just didn't go to the pole.
It looked good, but he went under the bar.
You ever do anything like that?
Did your pole ever break?
I have not. I never broke a pole. I had a friend who broke 2 in one meet, and it took him. It took mentally, because that's some scary shit.
That's scary.
Because when that happens, you're usually tumbling this way.
Yeah,
it
You're
looked
back flipping toward the mat.
Right.
And it took him a little while to get his head right again, to be able to just get out there and vault again, because that's That's you never wanna break the pole.
No.
It's the most
Yeah.
frightening thing in track and field.
You can hear it too. I remember
Yeah, the
watching
snap.
something and it's a loud pop.
It's like a gunshot. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really loud. Yeah, no, I've had some interesting. I was pole vaulting outside in the rain one time, and because it's rain or shine,
Yeah.
in college, and I'm running down the runway. It really starts pouring, and I go up, I plant the pole, and I lose my grip. So the pole is completely bent like this. I lose my grip. And
Slide.
suddenly it just snaps back and hits me right in the chest. I keep going forward. So I landed on the mats, but I had like a welt that looked like a bullet bandolier going
Right.
right across my chest, like down to my waist almost. For like a day or two. It hit me hard.
Wow.
I had another time where I actually shot myself over the mats because I just, yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
I
just looks-
they call it blowing through the pole.
Sounds
By
like
the way,
a good description.
pole vaulting, most sexual vocabulary
That you
in
can
all
ever
of
think of.
sports.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In
No, I
all of
imagine.
sports.
Yeah, there's so many
the-
innuendos in there.
Oh my God! Well, the area where you hold the pole, that's the shaft. The rubber piece on the end of the pole that you actually insert into the pole to make sure that you don't break it when you put it in the ground.
Yeah.
That's called the butt plug. No joke. You can't even make that up.
I never
So,
knew this. This is good.
The hole in the ground
Oh,
is
boy.
called the box.
And what is it called?
The box.
The box, of course.
The box.
And so you sprint down the runway, just gripping your shaft for dear life. You plant the butt plug in the box, and you hope to God you get good penetration.
Tell me about the first time you tried it. I mean, how do you start? Do you start with like a shorter pole and kind of do? How do you start?
How young were you when you first started this?
Well, I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
And I'd seen videos of it, and I was like, that looks cool. And I was in real good shape at the time.
Right. I would imagine you have to be.
Yeah, I was, lifting all the time. I was, running cross country, so I was lean. And an announcement came over the intercom at the end of school one day, and they said pole vault tryouts. And it wasn't really tryouts. It was, hey, come, let's see if we can get you to
We
like
need
this.
you.
Everyone makes the team.
Yeah,
Easy,
we
right?
need you.
See if we get
Exactly.
some volunteers.
No exclusive. You are,
Yeah.
you are in.
Because no one's good at pole vaulting right off the bat.
No,
Like
no.
you can tell, like, all right, this guy's got like some physical talent, like
Yep.
whatever, but no one's good. It's not a natural thing.
Correct.
And so I started it, and at first you're just basically straight pulling it, which means it just kind of goes up and like this. And then one day, the pole bent as I was going because the form was there.
Yep.
Because it's all about form, believe it or not. It's
Yeah.
really not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you got to bend
And,
off of it and throw yourself, basically. So, right, I imagine form and balance play a big part in that.
Yeah, big time. And so I went from, when you're starting off, you're jumping like 8 feet. It's, it's not even much higher than the high jumpers are jumping, right? So
Right.
that day I went from 8 feet to 12 feet. and so my coach was like, I think you're not running anymore. We're not going to waste your legs. You're good at
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And you're on varsity. Welcome.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Signed up.
So it just kind of snowballed from there. I ended up getting recruited at Northeastern, a
Nice.
couple of different schools, but Northeastern had the PT program that I wanted. Because I thought at the time I wanted to be a physical therapist. So I went to Boston, had a blast, pole vaulting, going to PT class, partying a lot.
Of course.
College.
Yeah.
Hence why I didn't get all that much better at pole vaulting when I got to college.
A lot of
I was
Yeah.
I was a little too split in my extracurriculars, but yeah. So I realized in my 5th year out of 6 years, it's a doctorate program now. You have to get a doctorate to be a PT. I started realizing, like, I don't think I want to be stuck in a treatment room all day. I don't think this is really where I want to. And nothing against the science or, the people in it. It's great. It's great stuff. It wasn't for me. And I said, all right, well, what am I going to do with my life? So I went to my advisor, and she was like, you had enough credits to graduate last year. And I was like, all right, well, I guess this is see ya. So I graduated, and I got into medical sales because that was a way for me to use what I had learned from, my schooling and have a little bit more of a dynamic work life. I was in different places all the time. I'm meeting new people. I'm seeing crazy stuff. I'm in the operating room with some of these surgeons. And it wasn't until, like I said, no writing has happened for a long time. It wasn't until the last position I was at. I was at the last company for about 4.5 years, and this would have been about 4 years ago.
Right. I
was on a plane 3 to 5 days a week.
Oh.
Because my specialty was the burn injury.
Right.
So burn units, there's only 140 of them in the country. So I would have to fly to these places to be able to see them. I covered, basically the whole U.S. at one point.
Yep.
And I just got to a point where I beat Netflix. I'm downloading episodes to shows I don't even want to watch just to pass the time on the plane. And I was like, this is a huge waste of time.
Right.
And so I had this one long flight. It was from Miami to Hawaii. And I was sitting there downloading episodes to some show that I was like very not interested in.
Right.
And I was like, well, maybe.
Time.
Yeah. And this was like right after COVID too. So there had been a lot of worldly events that I was, I guess, maybe I was unaware of it at the time, but I was kind of pulling inspiration from them.
Right.
And, COVID was kind of like a renaissance for learning from me because I just had the time to research crazy things and go down strange rabbit holes and kind of get back in touch with my love for sci-fi and my love for all things space.
Yep.
And that's where it kind of stemmed from. So I got on the flight and I was like, all right, well, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot. So I started with a history. And did you guys have a chance to read the book, by the way?
I did not.
It's all right if you didn't. But it starts with a history. So that's literally how it started.
Right.
I was like, all right, well, maybe it's my desire to, live in a multi-planetary society and be able to travel to different planets and do crazy things like that. But I was like, all right, well,
actually.
Yeah.
I think it's the necessary future if we want to
continue.
Yeah. Because the whole idea is that we escape the finite resources of a singular planet existence.
Right.
And so I just said, all right, well, let's come up with a way to do that. Let's write a history of today's timeline and how we get to that multi-planetary society.
Right.
And it just snowballed. By the time I got off the plane, I was on chapter 4. Like it poured out of me at that point.
Wow.
By the time you got off the plane?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's probably because it had been so long and I get into things.
Poured, right.
I may have an addictive personality, but
Could be.
but my mode of doing that was I had gone down the rabbit hole of like FTL travel and the concept of like the Alcubierre drive. I was reading physics papers, like I read Miguel Alcubierre's paper in the 90s where he proposed kind of a workaround to the universal speed limit, which is the speed of light.
Right. By
condensing space in front of you and elongating it behind you, he basically postulated that you could far exceed that light speed limit.
Right.
And it was a mix of that and have you guys heard of it's the Alien Probe podcast. I'm sure you've heard of Element 151.
Oh,
absolutely.
Or 115. 115.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
that's his favorite. One of his favorite guys.
Yeah. You're Bob Lazar fan, Nick?
I I have
It's
heard
okay
him
to say
speak
you
a
don't
number
like
of
him.
times.
It's all right.
He does
No, I
like it.
don't.
He said he does like it.
I don't dislike him. I think he's got a very consistent story.
Correct.
I'll tell you that much. It's very interesting.
Yep.
And, and that took me down a lot of different, rabbit holes in terms of like self-sustaining energy and all these different types of methods of achieving, what is it?
0 point energy.
energy.
0 point energy, yep. And plasma with water and sound,
Yep.
with, there's a lot of interesting, it seems like there may not even be only one way to get there, which is fascinating.
Correct.
But yeah, so that's where it started. And that's how I came up with the concept of Vitalerium. Now, Vitalerium is not only the name of the series, it's the name of the most important exotic resource in existence in the Vitalerium universe. And so it's a crystalline substance that emits a strange bluish glow. And it looks like there is a grayish smoke kind of raging inside of it. And it's unlike any other element substance that we have ever experienced. And after studying it, messing around with it a lot, there was a bit of a renegade scientist who said, all right, well, you know what? Let's try something. We haven't come up with any results. I'm going to come in and try to do something a little outside the box. And he realizes that when you put a specific type of energy input into the substance, it forms a field around it that creates the sort of space-time bubble that could be described in, the Alcubierre drive. So it's not only the fuel, it's the mode itself as well.
Nice.
And so essentially, we begin to explore the cosmos. Mining operations in space become, maybe not the safest, but certainly
not at first.
extremely
It's
feasible
experimental.
and extremely prevalent. And I talk about basically like the evolution of humanity over the course of the next 700 years and how we colonize new planets, we terraform some, we find a few Goldilocks planets here and there, and then we start running low on this resource because we've only been finding pockets of it. We discover that the signature is very, very traceable. And so we find pockets of it on different planets, different moons,
Right.
Asteroids floating around. And it's it's extremely powerful. The power potential, a chunk of it the size of your fist can power a spaceship or a spacefaring vessel the size of a football field. And so what little we had brought us a long way. But then the demand of humanity starts to rise. And, the population booms, we're on new planets, and the ever-expanding needs of civilization kind of require that we get more. So we start looking for the source. We find it, and it's right next to this Goldilocks planet in the fourth quadrant of the Milky Way galaxy. And it's stemming from this strange spatial anomaly that physics had never really anticipated. It's, again, unlike anything we've ever seen. It looks like a fracture in space-time. And every so often, Vitalerium meteorites are expelled from it.
Oh, wow.
And so essentially, now all of the power factions within the planets are going, well, we want to control this because if we control Vitalerium, we control humanity.
All of it.
And so a 100-year-long war is fought between all of the planets and the planet Diorum, which is the seventh colonized human planet.
Right.
What happened was the police force that the planetary alliances had formed had been allowed to, basically just to moderate space travel, had been allowed to become way too powerful. And like they had colonized a planet of their own in secret. They had begun using, to make sure that they could amp up their numbers. They began using cloning techniques that were, we'll say still illegal at that time, but they had kind of, they had also kind of perfected the process.
Right.
And so they just had strength in numbers, and they win the war in a big upset, kind of an unexpected one. And so they ruled the galaxy with an iron fist. And now you have these 7 planets, which are all kind of, retreating back into their planetary existences and, setting up trade agreements and whatnot. So this government installs a puppet government on the planet to basically run the mining operation at what they call the vital fracture. That's that spatial anomaly, which once again, we still don't fully understand. And that's a major point of the series as a whole, because we have sent unmanned probes in, we've sent manned probes in, we've sent everything in you could possibly imagine. Nothing returns except the intermittent bursts of Vitalerium meteorites.
Right.
And so we don't even truly understand where it's coming from. And so what you begin to realize over the course of the 7-book series is that there's a lot we don't know about it in terms of just the very specifics of its origin in general, but as far as what it can do.
Right.
So enter your characters. Now you get dropped into the front seat of Roman Matthews, who is living on the 7th colonized planet, which they call Diorum. And they call it Diorum. Diorum in Latin means of the gods. And after they colonize the planet, what they start to realize is that there's all these strange ruins scattered across the planet of some civilization that is no longer there. Yeah. So you could probably see where some of my inspiration has stemmed from.
Right. Without saying it.
Yeah.
Without saying it.
Yeah.
Oh, we could say it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, have you guys been following that whole the LiDAR scans of the Great Pyramids in Egypt?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
How wild is that shit?
Right? Right.
Well, but we really need to dig. Are we going to be allowed to dig down in there and really
I think eventually we're going
see
to have
them?
to.
Or is it
Too many
too?
questions.
That's going to be something wild if we can actually. LiDAR is one thing. Another thing to get down there and. We've seen AI. I don't know if you've seen them. Like we're on Facebook and things, and they have AI where they're walking down in these catacombs and looking at these these pillars underneath.
And they're under every one of them, right? Isn't every pyramid have these things under them?
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of the. I don't think it's all the same as the Great Pyramid,
No, it's not
but
the
the larger
same.
ones.
But there's things
But all
under
of them have subterranean
the
stuff. That
Sphinx too. I think it has something under it as well.
yes,
according
and
to
I haven't seen the LiDAR pictures or the renderings of what that's supposed to look like.
Right.
But it raises a lot of questions, and I've been going down the rabbit hole of the Younger Dryas impact theory and how there's a chance that human civilization has been around for a lot longer than anticipated.
Yeah, we've had this discussion with other authors, and especially ones that are connected with Egypt, and we always ask who really built the pyramids?
Right.
You know what I mean? There's always that discussion about how could they bring those blocks down? Because they saw where they quarried them. They see, and they're up. I don't know if it's the Nile, but that's a river, and they surmise it was brought down by that river. But I don't know what kind of boat could actually contain a block of material like that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think any boat from that era.
Right. And there's no remnants of boats to be, big enough that there would be something left of those.
Well, I've heard people say that, they had some that were really large and this and that. And I go, there's nothing.
There's so many theories.
There's nothing that could hold those blocks.
Well, forget about the pyramids for a moment. There's another site not far from there that has something called the Trilithon stones, which were also quarried from a similar quarry. And the Trilithon stones are they're single solid blocks that were quarried, and they are, I think, between 300 and 800 tons each.
Are those the ones that are all shaped?
Fuck?
They're literally, those are the ones that are all shaped into each other, and there's no way you could cut that.
Oh no, that's in Peru.
Peru, okay.
There's another place, and it's funny. Like there's a guy named you know Graham Hancock.
Absolutely.
So if you go and you go, or excuse me, if you watch him go there and talk to a lot of the archaeologists who are there, living there, he's like, do you think the, you know, the civilizations, like I think was Peru the Aztecs or the Incas or the Mayans? I always forget which are where.
I don't know either. I think they're Aztecs, Mexico. So
Mayan, maybe?
I think it's Mayan.
Yeah, so
wrong.
but I don't quote us on this, listeners. But
history wasn't
he's saying that, you know, even the archaeologist there is like, no, you can see a very specific difference where our ancestors basically built on top of these, and the architecture and the use of those stone blocks is very different from the kind of foundational blocks.
Yep.
And they use some type of, they're still unsure as to how they got these stones to kind of fit together. I have I guess an educated guess that it may be some type of like chemical cautery method that they use to almost kind of melt the blocks together into those specific shapes. But that's
Incas were for Peru. I googled it. Inca.
Yes, the Incan.
I'm reading The Day After Roswell by Philip Corso. And one of the things that came out of the discovery from the Roswell crash was lasers. So I'm thinking possibly, you know, that might have something to do with the cutting of the stone, possibly.
Could be.
Because that would be a perfect cut. And, you know, maybe, we don't know, of course, but, you know, one possible explanation of how that could happen.
The pyramids were possibly made gas, I think, is what the, I can't remember the guy that was on Rogan. He was talking about them actually being like a factory for certain gases.
Oh, wow.
Because when you're in there, you smell sulfur, which is funny because you get that at every, you know, UFO site.
Yeah.
or origin of an NHI that smells like sulfur. So
Oh, interesting.
Salt.
Yeah. And where did this ancient civilization come from?
Right.
I mean, you know, it's surmised that Mars.
I think those are before.
It could even be as close as Mars. You know, when their atmosphere got sucked away or whatever happened, and you know the rabbit holes that we go down with these things, you know, it's pretty incredible.
You're tying that in with your story, is what you said?
In a sense, you know, I'm not like, you know, I approach anything that falls into the category of quote unquote conspiracy theory. You know, there are some that are, hey, that might be feasible, and there are some that are just a bit outlandish, and they're all kind of lumped together, and I don't think they deserve to be. Yeah. But if you approach everything and you just kind of say, maybe partially true. Maybe we've got part of the story there.
Yep.
You can get a lot of inspiration for some interesting ideas to write about. So anyway, going back to the story, there are these strange ruins all over the planet.
Right.
But because the government is solely focused on basically, you know, mining Vitalerium, they're not really explored to the extent of that you would anticipate, at least not on like an academic level. The society there is basically just built around kind of running the machine to run the rest of civilization. Yeah. Exactly. And so your protagonist, Roman Matthews, is an interesting character. He is morally gray at best. I mean, he is. They call him freelancer, but he's essentially a mercenary. He's a gun for hire, and he's doing odd jobs for local gangs, basically just to make enough money to blow it all on booze and whores to forget his traumatic past. He is.
Sounds like my dream.
He's a rough around the edges type of character.
Yeah, that's right.
His skill set is he's very we'll say talented in violence. He is a skilled. He's skilled in survival beyond the walls of the mega city of Kairos, which is this gigantic 3,000 mile in diameter city that you can literally see from space. And all of the people who live on the planet, like 99.99% of people, live within those walls. But he knows the fauna, he knows the flora, he knows how to survive outside of the walls. And so he's doing missions for sometimes very sketchy people, sometimes very rich buyers who are, looking for some of these artifacts, who are just asking him to go out and, find someone who's lost out there. So he knows how to survive. Well, he takes a job from an old mentor of his one day, and that basically embroils him in a massive conspiracy. He has a near-death experience that makes, we'll say, something very interesting happen to him regarding the most valuable resource in existence.
Yeah.
And that has basically a totalitarian government that runs the planet hunting him. And so he's got to band together with kind of a motley crew of allies, both in the underworld and in the public eye, just to be able to survive that ordeal. And that's just book one.
Right.
Wow.
And I write in the omniscient perspective, kind of similar to the way that Herbert does. Frank Herbert, Dune, was
Dune.
one of the first real hard sci-fi books that I read. And I read that at 13. It was my father's copy.
Nice.
He wrote in the omniscient perspective, and I read a lot of other things, but I find that there's a lot of strengths to that kind of writing style. So that's how I write, kind of matches my writing style. And I tried to attribute a reason to the omniscient perspective. And you don't discover what that is until the end of the book.
Oh, nice. So it's got, yeah.
Did you watch the original Dune movie, Nick?
The
one
yes,
where the
yes,
the ships were from the interiors were from the 18th century or something. I hated that. It's like, what? I know.
And they made the mistake of trying to take, what Frank, what is it, Dennis Villeneuve, what he did by splitting it into two movies is exactly what that storyline needed. Because, in the 80s one, they tried to make that one movie, and they've got
too much left.
There's those 80s montages to show the passage of time, which is funny. And it was, hey, props to them for giving it a shot with what they had at the time. But now that we've got CGI and all the special effects that we have nowadays, I think the new movies turned out phenomenal.
I haven't seen it. I'm gonna have to watch the new ones. I haven't seen them yet. I was so turned off by the first one. I went, I was forgetting it.
It's miles away. Miles away. Completely different.
You're adapting comic books out of this as well?
Yeah. So, like I said, or maybe I alluded to it before we went on air, but I've got 7 books planned. I've now begun to get into comics, and I don't plan on stopping there.
That's awesome.
I kind of wrote, one of my favorite sci-fi storytelling mediums is video games. I love a good video games.
Oh, video games, yeah.
Yeah, I love a good sci-fi RPG.
Yep.
Where because I feel like when you have the ability to make choices, especially with how complex the games are nowadays, when you can make choices that affect, the outcomes of the end.
Right.
Yeah. That, I think, it involves you in the storytelling in a way that, film and even the novels can't.
Yeah.
Because you're along for the ride on those. In the video game, you're involved.
Yep.
And I would very much love to see Vitalerium turned into a video game.
That was just going to say, with the RPG and everything, one of my favorite video games of all times I got my kids hooked on was Borderlands. So that was the greatest thing about, you had this vast universe, and, they had, what's similar to what you had, but you can build your characters. And, it started a video game, and I'm like, why didn't they write a book out of this? They should have had a book on this first. And they could have added all this other stuff, or a comic book. So I think you're doing it good.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, the novel format is the best way for me to flesh out all my ideas in long form.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a storyboard in Excel that is like 40 tabs long that just spells out everything about
Right.
the universe, the planets. You know, how many moons do they have? What's the government structure?
Right.
What's the
Detail.
society
What
look like?
details?
What's
Everything.
the monetary system like? I mean, are people paid like today? You get a paycheck, or how are they? Or is it like
They-
credits? Like I just watched Outland last night, which I don't know if you remember that. It's kind of
sounds
might be
familiar.
before your time. If with Sean Connery, and they were on the mining planet.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
Ios.
It's been a while.
And you gave them some sort of hyper crank, and it killed them could kill people after 11 months, you know. But I don't know. But the monetary system kind of fascinates me about it's always credits or, you know, with Star Trek where you don't even need money, you know, you just, I don't know how you even make it to be a Starfleet captain from being nothing, you know what I mean?
You're operating on what is it? I mean, at that point, you're basically operating on reputation alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Which-
basically what was the payout for it was reputation.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that they don't cover in Star Trek is if you have a society based on reputation, that's a social credit score, essentially. And,
Yeah.
and that is
Oh, not
very
that again.
subject
Oh, yeah, I saw-
to a lot of people
Yeah.
Oh,
who, you know,
yeah.
hey, listen, some people suck. Some
Yeah.
people might
Yeah.
just, hey, I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
That's
Minus
true.
one
Did you see
credit.
that movie
You
where
know?
that woman went?
Was that Black Mirror?
Was
Where
that Black Mirror?
Yeah, Black Mirror
Around
was
the
the-
show
yeah.
where it ruined her social
Yeah,
credit.
she's like, I need
I need too many more thumbs up. It's like, nope, you know.
That's true, because there's always a losing end of that, and all they show is the high, you know, the winning end of that. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that was
Exactly,
pretty
so-
fascinating. Yeah, I'm
so,
always curious about how you're paid.
Yeah, so they use what's called universal credits, and
Nice.
there are it's kind of based on blockchain technology,
Yeah.
and so but there's an ability for you to unledger certain credits in basically like private wallets, and that's what a lot of the more clandestine businesses use to operate and make loads of currency illegally, and that's how Roman basically makes his credits. They call them UCs,
Yeah.
and
Just like a Bitcoin thing.
it kind of it's like a what is it a digital
Like a digital wallet.
digital currency.
what is it CBDC? I forget what the
Yeah, I
acronym
know what
stands
you're
for.
talking about.
But it's like one of those, but because of some of the other advances in technology, there is a way to unledger them.
Right.
I had to come up with some interesting technologies to try and foster a society that could operate in that kind of sci-fi realm. Like,
Yep.
for instance, communication. Communication becomes an issue. How do
Yep.
you communicate instantaneously with a planet that is light years away from
That's
you?
true.
Or a
Right.
ship that's light years away from you?
Yeah.
So I created what will be the next stage of the internet, which is called the fabric. And the fabric utilizes quantum entangled particles.
It connects it.
Yes, because the concept of quantum entanglement is you could take two particles that are entangled, you could spread them out, no matter how far the distance, they move dependently of one another. And so if one moves on this planet, the other one moves on the other planet,
Right.
same way.
Right.
And so the communication companies have these nodes that people can access to basically communicate directly and instantaneously with people who are at vast distances.
Yeah.
And now the flip side of that, because there always has to be someone who
Yeah. It takes advantage of
communicates.
that.
Yep.
Yep.
So to
Absolutely.
communicate kind of off the books, something called the fray was created. So the fray of the fabric, it's the outer edges.
Right.
And this was created. This was I was kind of proud of this story. So a couple of rowdy college students were trying to come up with a way to basically communicate without being noticed. And it was, it was a funded program, and they were a little, we'll say, ambitious and trouble-seeking youths, but highly intelligent rule breakers.
Any of them named Nick, or I'm just going to take a stab at that?
This is one of those like backstory things that I throw in there. I don't name any of the characters specifically, but one of the kids is a rich kid who's got some connections, and he gets them into a couple of these communication companies gets them into the nodes, for the research.
Yeah.
And what they end up doing is they entangle a number of particles with the main source, and then they fire these particles out to all ends of space. So no one knows where to find them, where they are, and any devices that are connected with those can they're not traceable. And so, whereas the company needs to be looking at the nodes to see where the communication is coming from and where it's going to, there's kind of an extra step added in that removes their ability to see where the communication is coming from.
That's badass.
And so I just the creation aspect of this type of storytelling is by far my favorite.
Yeah.
Is there any other species that are run across?
I'm sure there's a few.
Are you?
He's got a whole universe.
Or is it like, there isn't anything else to discuss?
So we run into a lot of, we'll say, organic life on different planets, but mostly the type of stuff that you would find on Earth in the wild.
Right.
You have on Diorum. There's an interesting extra compound in a lot of the soil and in a lot of the flora that leads to some very interesting fauna that are very arachnid-like, or not arachnid-like, but a lot of are insect-like.
Right.
So think animals with like giant animals with chitin shells. Think like Starship Troopers type.
Oh,
wow.
One of my favorite
Great movie.
Wow.
Sci-fi movies.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a dangerous place.
Yeah.
That's why Roman's skill set is so kind of important and sought after.
Yep, needed.
But I kind of went on a tangent here. What were we
That's
talking
right.
about? Oh,
That's
alien.
great.
Yeah.
So other life. So not yet.
Right.
But I'll say this.
This is the beginning, though. So
Yeah.
If we were to discover a less evolved species on a planet that wasn't ready on a massive scale to be aware of our existence, for their own good, for our good, for whatever our goals were with that planet, wouldn't we designate certain champions, maybe high-powered individuals who would be able to bring civilization to the point where we are already?
Yeah,
Wouldn't we try and
it's
ease
kind of
them into
Star
it to
Trek,
help them?
Star Trek-esque. I don't know. Do you?
that's kind of now-esque, I think.
But do we want to show them? We should. I never understood that thing where we don't want them to see us because we don't want them to change their mode. Where they are in their evolution. We should
Not necessarily where they are, but if you have a societal structure that is based around certain things and then you shatter the bedrock of an entire society's belief system, I mean, think about that on a planetary scale, or even on you take away the meaning that people derive from life. You could very well send that civilization into a downward spiral. And so there is kind of, I mean, and who knows? Maybe it is the case. Maybe that wouldn't be the case. Maybe or maybe that position is speaking from a time where it is something that is talked about on a relatively kind of, prevalent basis now. I mean, that movie that just came out, what was it? The Age of Disclosure. I mean, they're literally talking about this type of stuff. We know stuff is out there or whatever. And I'm not sure whether or not that's a distraction, a timely distraction from other things that are going on.
That's one
A
theory.
lot of political things
yeah.
going on.
It's funny you should say that because just recently in the last couple of weeks, the banks are talking about if we have full disclosure, that is probably going to disrupt the economic system we have here. Is it going to break it? Hopefully not. But is it going to disrupt it? Yeah. Because you're right. You take a civilization that has no clue. There's nothing out there but them. They build their whole civilization on just us, just our religion, just our planet, just the God that made this planet. And then you take, oh, wait a minute. There's others out there? Because our Bible doesn't talk about that. Our leaders don't talk about that. So now you're gonna bring that into the civilization and goes, oh, by the way, your government knew about this, and yeah, they've been around for a long time. Will that change things? I think it will. I don't know if for the good or bad, but I think it will change.
The more complex a civilization becomes, the more fragile it becomes at certain points, I think.
Yep.
And so maintaining a delicate balance, I would say, is, and this is just talking from someone who doesn't even have the experience and has just thought a lot about this and read a lot of philosophy. I would imagine it takes a lot of effort to maintain that delicate balance.
Yeah.
And so trying to keep a nuanced point of view on that, I would imagine that even at the rate of expansion that we would see in 700 years from now, which is where my book takes place. It takes place in the year 2701.
Right.
Maybe there are civilizations that are thousands of years
ahead of us,
beyond us. And so the scope of 700 years is just, a blip on the radar. It's certainly a blip on the radar in terms of the age of the universe. And maybe even then we would have to be ushered in with baby steps, so to speak. But I'll just leave you on that note in discussion of maybe what's to come. And
it's the disclosure. I mean, what are they? I mean, we could go on forever, but I mean, are these things? Is there some entity? Are these grays just automatons and working for the Pleiadians or something?
Like drones.
We don't know. I mean, how bad is it really going to? I think we're ready to broach the subject. I don't think it's going to cause as much chaos. I think they're releasing things in a drip, and that's putting it mildly.
And supposedly that's the way they want to do it, is doing it, like he said, slowly. So I think that's what the plan is, to do it slowly, because they don't want a massive, hey, we're here. What's that called? I can't remember what kind of. It's not a good disclosure.
Catastrophic
disclosure.
Exactly. Drop the bomb of disclosure.
I mean, look at the movie. Even take a series, for example. It's showing that there is others out there, and we, like you said, we have to travel the stars. We have to be able to go to different planets, because this planet has an expiration date on it at some point. So the whole galaxy. So yeah.
Right. I mean, when that is,
I probably won't be around.
I'm not a geologist.
Could be pretty soon the way things are going.
I like your book. It sounds amazing. I'm definitely going to order it. It sounds like, and that's just one. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You've got one. Are you working? I know you've got the outline. Obviously, you have the outline. What's your time frame for getting the next one out?
It'll be out this year.
Nice.
It'll be out this year for sure. So right now, I've only got a couple more chapters to write. I'm trying to make sure that I don't sacrifice quality for just getting it out
too
ASAP.
Fast. Yep.
But I also don't want people to just forget about everything that happened in book one so that you know you got to kind of tread that balance
Correct.
in this world. So yeah, it'll be out this year.
How long does it
I'll
take to
have-
write a chapter? On an average, I mean, I know they're all different, but how long does it take to? I've had other authors on. It just I always ask them how long. One guy's like, "Oh, it takes a month to do a chapter."
Is that the list of questions you see?
Yeah, no, this isn't. That isn't. I have a list of questions from the your PR people, and I don't like any of them. So I'm not going to ask any of these. She's probably going to get mad at me. But
that's all right.
Bad.
That's all right.
this is like, where did you find the inspiration for Vital?
Well, he already covered.
You've already covered these.
I think he's covered most of those on there on his own.
I got another one I could talk about too, that encompasses some of the overarching philosophical themes that are talked about in the book. So it starts with the character's best friend, Roman's best friend, the protagonist's best friend, and his name is Jarek. And Jarek is dead, but Jarek begins appearing to him in some funny ways. The main character is plagued by some strange dreams and some strange, almost seemingly revelatory type experiences.
Right.
And I based a lot of those on some of the messed up dreams that I have on a fairly regular basis. So I experience, you guys know what sleep paralysis is?
Oh,
Yes.
I get that on a fairly regular basis. It's been a little while since I've had a, I don't know what you call it, a bout of it, but
Yeah.
but it's every time it happens, it usually comes right after a vivid dream.
Okay.
So I'll wake up and my eyes will open and
But you can't move.
I can't move anything. The only thing I can move is my eyes.
Yep.
Which is every time, no matter, because I know what it is now, and I can even recognize it in the moment, like this is what this is. It's same feeling of terror, like shooting down your spine. It's terrifying every time. And there's always some kind of, you either see like shadows on the wall.
I was going to say,
like
there's something in the room with you.
Or like a dark figure on the bed. You feel like a presence. It's really weird.
Yeah.
The only thing that is different, and I experience as well, is because the only thing I can do is go, you know what this is, just shut your eyes. You know what this is, just shut your eyes.
Right.
And by the time I can actually get my eyes shut, because even that can be hard sometimes, I hear what sounds like tongues, like whispers, like almost as if it's right
in
here,
your ear.
like right
Oh,
above
wow.
my ear. And that lasts for
freaky.
maybe 5-10 seconds. And then I shoot up out of the bed like a vampire.
Right.
And,
Right.
and it's every time. It's
you have
freaky.
Night terrors? Were you screaming?
No, not night terror. Not to that point. I'm
Right.
not like I don't have, I guess, thankfully, all that much trauma.
Right. Right.
So it's just, but I've had very, very vivid dreams that stood out beyond anything else I've ever had. One was, it was after I pulled an all-nighter studying for a test in college, and I went and took the test, and I was like, great, now I'm done. And one of my friends in class came to me. He goes, "Hey, you ready to submit that paper?" And I was like,
What paper?
No. Come on. And so this is at like 10 in the morning, and the paper needs to be submitted by 5 at night.
Oh.
And so I have to rush home, forego sleep
And write
again,
a paper.
just chug coffee and write a paper and get it in by 5. I slept for like 14 hours straight and had one of the most vivid dreams I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And it was a mishmash of things. There was, like a point where I'm looking at this futuristic looking city, and I am like on the shore, like outside the city, and I just see this gigantic ship fly by overhead and then turn and then basically like angle toward me,
Right.
and that's when I woke up. And so that was
At least your PTSD gives you cool ideals in your dreams.
I'm making it my superpower.
Right.
Well, there's
Yeah.
another theory that these things are you're slipping into another dimension. You know that these.
That's where abductions happen as well.
You know,
They don't
you
happen here.
slip. Yeah,
happen
this
in-
is you in another dimension,
Yep.
experiencing these things.
I've heard of that.
You know, I mean, it's fascinating.
It's
Usually,
conspiracy
mine are all about how I didn't turn in my math homework and I'm going to fail.
Oh yeah,
Reoccurring nightmare.
mine are worse.
Or I don't go to math class like for the whole time,
Mine
and
are
I
a
show up the
job
last day.
I don't do anymore, and me either being late or being overwhelmed at a job cooking. Because I used to cook. I cooked for 12 years. So all of a sudden, these waitresses are running in with all these orders, and I'm freaking out. And then I wake up, I'm like, I fucking hated that job. What the fuck?
Never get involved with food.
No, food's bad.
Food employment's bad.
Retail's not good either.
Retail's not bad either. It's not good either. Yeah, it's horrible. Are you still doing the physical therapy?
No, so I never practiced.
Really? Oh,
I
okay.
still I still work. I'm working for a startup now in medical device sales. You know, my
That's travel, huh? You travel for that?
yeah, a fair amount.
Yeah.
It's more driving now at
Yeah.
the stage that I'm in, or at the stage that the company's in, than flying. You know, so down the road, I'm sure I'll end up back on a plane again.
Yep.
But you know, we're growing the company, and we're in the business of regrowing skin. You know,
Nice. Yeah.
so we're helping patients with chronic wounds and you know, just wounds that won't heal. And we're utilizing some really interesting platform technology that I think could
Nice.
take off. So it's the reason why I joined the company, because I always vet the tech first to try and see, like, does this have
Is it viable?
a lot of applications? Is it viable? You know,
Right.
Because you don't want to put your name behind something
That's not worth your time.
right. Exactly. So
Yeah. I got a buddy that does
yeah.
heart valves. He doesn't fly as
yeah.
much. He drives around and does heart valves. So
That's
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. You have a copy of your book there?
Oh, up there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go grab your book. We want.
Yeah, I
put
want
it
to see what I want you to put
So
the
we have the
in
cover
front
on
if you
there. We
can.
probably.
There we go.
Let's see what that thing.
It's
That is it.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, that's good.
That's a
It
nice
might be
cover.
it might be flipped around, but
No,
no,
it's
ours.
good.
We've got ours the right way.
Yep, you got it good.
So,
all right.
who did the art? Who did the art on that?
So I have a graphic designer by the name of Ahmed Guitar, and he's out of Egypt.
Right.
I found him on one of those kind of like online freelancer websites.
Like Fiverr.
Like Fiverr. or
Yeah. I use Upwork, but yeah, same
Right.
thing.
Yep.
And it's kind of he's done some really interesting work. I've had him basically render just about all of the major characters in 3D, like full 3D, 360-degree view. Like I said, I want this to be a video game. I
Yeah,
want it bad.
absolutely.
Down the
I
line.
can totally see it as a video game.
And so we're
What about the comic book? Is he doing the comic book as well, or do you have someone different?
no. So I have someone different for the comic book, and the comic book was my first logical dive into kind of a second medium of entertainment, because it's something that I could do with. I could find the right people to do it. It could be a small team. It wouldn't be, it wouldn't break the bank. Not that it wasn't expensive. I found good people to do it. But my illustrator's name is Francisco Nilo, and he's out of Argentina. He's very talented.
Nice.
Met him through a friend of a friend who actually started like a click per pay comic website at one point.
Right.
And so he had made some contacts, and I had a couple of meetings with Francisco. I looked at his work, and I was like, I think you're my guy. And the work that he did was just fantastic. I'll have to send you guys a couple of copies.
Yeah.
I'll send you some digital copies.
So you
of the
have
comic.
copies of it now? Can you get all this at your website or?
Oh yeah. I have physical prints.
Okay.
And you can get those on my website, vitaleriumseries.com. Here, I'll show you the comic books. I've got a few of them here.
You said
So this,
Vitaleriumseries.com, correct?
yep.
Okay.
So this is the first issue of the comic book.
Nice.
Oh wow.
That's
You're gonna
great.
get some. You're gonna get some cyberpunk vibes from this. You're
Yeah.
gonna get some Mass Effect vibes from this.
Right.
A little bit of Deus Ex.
Right.
Just the kind of stuff that elicits this, dystopian kind of brightly lit, high-tech squalor future that the majority of the citizens live in.
Yeah.
Whereas the further you get in, like, so for instance, on Dioram, the city is made of these concentric circles. And then there are other circles around the center,
Right.
kind of like numerals on a clock.
Right.
And those are the other city states. And those are lavish. The center of the city is lavish. That's where, the main government buildings are.
Yeah.
And that's more of like your utopian looking, beautiful, scenic type of, sci-fi city.
Yeah.
Whereas as you start getting out, into the outer rings, you are.
Starts looking less and pretty.
It just starts getting rougher and
Right.
rougher, and yeah.
Yeah, kind of like where we live, now.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean,
not too-
art imitates reality, right?
That's right. It's
Yeah.
not too far from the truth.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
Nick, we're going to go ahead and let's wrap it up.
What was your website again?
It's Vitaleriumseries.com.
Okay.
Um,
I'll try to tag
And,
that on YouTube.
and I'll send you all the links too.
Okay,
And
perfect.
if you want to follow me on social media, it's at Vitalerium Series for basically anything under the sun,
All right.
except for X. X is only Vitalerium at Vitalerium because there were
All
too
right,
many
we
characters.
Right. Are you selling
And
your
then-
book off Amazon or is it just to your website at the moment?
Easiest way to get it's on Amazon.
Okay.
But it's available basically anywhere you get books online.
Perfect. You have
we'll
an
pick it
audio
up.
book yet or not yet?
Yes, I do.
do?
The audio
Good.
the audio book is on Amazon and Audible, and that is graphic audio. Like
Okay.
I got a real voice actor. He
Right.
does music, sound effects, voice
Nice.
modulation at different points. It's a production. I wanted it to be an immersive listening experience.
And then the video's coming out soon, right? The video game.
Give me a few years on that.
Heck
If
yeah.
I have any say in it, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it happen.
I'm excited. It sounds awesome.
Awesome, Nick.
Thanks for being
Thank
on
you.
today.
All right,
Yeah.
Nicholas Casbarro, Vitalerium. Hopefully, I got the last name right this time.
Vitalerium.
Vitalerium. I told you I'd butcher it, Nick. Yeah,
That's all right.
But thanks for coming on. It was
Yes,
awesome.
Thank you.
And when you get your next book out, let's have you on again, and we'll
Absolutely.
see where the journey takes it.
I'd love to. It's a lot of fun, guys. Thanks for
All
having
right,
me.
Nicholas.
Thank
Take
you.
care. All right, bye.
You too.
Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Alien Probe Podcast. We welcome comments, questions, or guest requests to alienprobepodcast@gmail.com. Visit us on Facebook. Listen to us wherever you get your favorite podcasts, Twitter and Instagram at Alien Probe Pod, YouTube and Rumble at Alien Probe Podcast. We also have a paid version on Patreon if you'd like to show your support. However, the content is free on all other platforms.